If you can look at AI one of two ways, a competitor or a colleague. If you look at it as a competitor, then you're going to treat it as such, and you're not going to find a way to embrace it, which in my gut and my experiences is going to put you at a massive competitive disadvantage. Hi, this is Coach Joe Lucas, and welcome to the Magellan Network Show. My goal inside of this communication, this show, is to share with you my nearly 30 years of coaching some of the most successful financial advisors in North America. We're going to be talking about strategies, syntaxes. We're going to bring guests on from time to time, and I'm going to share with you what's working now. So think of this show as sort of like a little one-on-one kind of mini coaching cast, if you like, where we're going to be going in depth from time to time on strategies to help you grow your business, get more effective, become more efficient, find balance in your time management, grow your business, and quite frankly, whatever else is going on in the world today. So before we get to today's episode, I'd love for you to do a couple things for me. Number one, make sure that if you're watching this on YouTube, that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're doing the audio, make sure that you give us a review on whether it's Spotify or Apple. We'd really appreciate that. And quite frankly, that does help. It does matter when you rate things and like things and subscribe to things. It helps us get the word out to more of the industry. And lastly, I have a very special gift for you. Go to MagellanNetwork.net, so one word, MagellanNetwork.net, and I have for you a complimentary membership, 100% gratis, where you can tap into about between 50 and 75 hours of masterclasses, forms, tools, templates, and strategies. So please go ahead and make sure you go ahead and get that claimed. Smash the like button and subscribe. And please go ahead and leave us a review on whatever podcasting platform you're on. And now, let's get to this week's episode. Hi, it's your Coach Joe Lucas, and welcome to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. And season greetings, happy holidays. Here we are, mid-December, and it's time for my annual, let's call it State of the Industry, or the way I view the industry as we wrap up 2023 and look forward to 2024. It's interesting because I'm not a market person. It's not my jam, but so many advisors went into this year fearing the worst in terms of the markets and returns and high interest rates and stuff like that. And I don't know, as I'm recording this on the 13th of December here, things looking pretty good, right? In terms of that. So what did we learn from that? That, you know what? The market's going to do what they do. The Federal Reserve is going to do what they do. The banks are going to do what they do. Politicians are going to do what they do. Countries are going to do what they do. And you got to play your game and play it and focus on the things that you can control, right? Because I know a lot of advisors got caught up in the wash of all the noise, and they took their eye off their ball, and now they're paying the price from a goal perspective, an economic perspective, getting things done perspective. And you know what? Those were all self-inflicted. So here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I'm seeing. I think the biggest challenge we have as an industry is not AI, which I will get to. I believe the biggest challenge we face as an industry over the next 5 to 10 years is the lack of young people entering the profession. And you look at any study you want to look at, any survey, we are going to lose over the next 5 to, let's say between now and 2030, just to kind of keep things clear, we're going to lose, depending on whose data you want to look at, anywhere from a third to a half of all client-facing advisors. Now, I've got to remember something. When you look at data, they'll talk about the licensed individuals. Well, if you're a Series 7 or, in a back office, you're not client-facing. You're just not. So when you start looking at who is actually dispensing advice, those numbers are going to shrink. So that's a problem, but that's also an opportunity, right? Because again, if you're entrepreneurs, you want to solve problems and make money doing so. So I think the first we have issue is going to be we are not bringing in people into our space like we need to. I think part of that is still old school thinking, institutional thinking. I know there's still organizations, insurance companies, and stuff like that that still are creating sales cultures. Like, let's go sell product. And they're not creating cultures of planning, coaching, mentorship, professional, right? And we have over years, if not decades, paid a big price for that. And I think, unfortunately, we're going to continue to pay a price until there is a reframe on how things are viewed. So I think the first thing we need to look at. Second piece is that, and I can take this from my clients, by and large, we as an organization here at Magellan Network, we have had another record-setting asset gathering year. There is just a ton of money in motion, and over the next several years between now and 2030, every year there'll be more money in motion. There'll be more retirements. There'll be more entrepreneurs, business owners selling their businesses, liquidity events. There'll be more advisors retiring, liquidity events, right, in a different way. So what I'm getting at here, if you're going to be here for the next 10 to 20 years and you want to play this game, then let's get going and make massive things happen. You do not want to look back at your career, whether that's 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 30 years from now, and say, man, I really missed this. Do not have regret. Be proactive, and we're not going to get into strategies. That'll be for, I'm going to say it out loud here, getting ready for 2024, which will be a series of videos we do starting in a couple weeks. But make the commitment to play. I mean, my goodness, you just got to be out there, let people know what you do, and be proactive and not hide in a cave or under your desk, and you'll gather money. It's just there. People need help because there's less of us to help them. Okay? Asset gathering wise, I think we're going to see the happy times over the next 5 to 7 years, and because I'm seeing it. Okay, what else am I noticing? I've not really seen fee compression. Everybody's, oh man, fee compression's coming, robos, fee. I've had clients increase their AUM fees this year. So guess what? I think there are people in this industry that love to get on stages and be provocative and maybe throw a little clickbait out there. But in my world, the trenches, I just don't see it. I just don't. I see non-fee compression. Again, if you're doing the things that you need to be doing, which will be another piece in a moment. So I just don't see it. Let's talk about, again, AI. Oh my gosh, here it is, or here it's coming. And we have to remember, and a good colleague of mine, Brian Bogner, said this. Hi, Coach Joe Lucas here, and I'm just breaking here for a moment just to do a couple quick reminders. Number one, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel or our podcast. In addition, please leave a comment or a review. Those things really, really matter. And share this episode with 3 of your colleagues inside the financial services space. And lastly, make sure that you go ahead and claim your free membership inside of Magellan Network. Now back to this week's episode. Remember, the version of AI that's out there today, and for some of you who are old enough to remember this, it is literally like using Netscape, right? Back in the 1990s as a browser. I mean, it's like, version 1.0, right? So we're going to have the worst version of AI is the current version, period. So why does that matter in our space? I think, and this is, again, my sense. If you can look at AI one of two ways, a competitor or a colleague. If you look at it as a competitor, then you're going to treat it as such, and you're not going to find a way to embrace it, which in my gut and my experiences is going to put you at a massive competitive disadvantage. If you embrace AI as a colleague and find a way to harness the power of it to help you serve your clients, it will give you a major and massive competitive advantage. And I think it's a bifurcation. You're either going to go one way with it, advisors are going to go one way with it, or another way with it. What I'm talking to my clients about, my tribes, quite frankly, hey, you know what? Let's find a way to make it an ally, a colleague, not a competitor, right? Let's figure out how to harness this so we get more efficient, more effective in what we do to serve our clients. Because going back to the first thing I said, there's less people in the game, so you're going to have to leverage technology in multiple levels to serve clients because you're just got that many more clients to serve. I mean, that's just reality, okay? And where I think, somebody says, "Oh, Joe, how about the AI advisor?" So let's talk about that for a second, because I've heard that a couple times last couple months. What type of organization do you think is most excited of the possibility of having artificial intelligence do financial planning, asset allocation with investors / clients? Is it going to be the local RA at the corner? Or is it going to be the major firms that would love to cut their headcount? And we're not going to get into names, but you all know who they are. And the big asset managers that would love to cut headcount, right? They're the ones that are going to try to find a way to replace advisors, because if they can get rid of advisors or a tranche of them, that's just going to go flow to their bottom line. So for them, the point I'm driving at is human beings are still tribal. Now, maybe a couple hundred years from now, that will not be the case. But for our foreseeable future, people still want to deal with people by and large. And if that was not true, then remember, was it 5 to 10 years ago? Oh man, the robo-advisors are coming. Oh man, they're going to eat our lunch. 25 basis points. Man, how are we going to handle that, right? I don't hear squat about that anymore. I just don't, right? So again, another false flag. Oh man, the DOL's coming. They're going to change everything. We're all going to be out of business. Again, false flag. So now the boogeyman or woman or person is artificial intelligence. Oh man, here it is. It's going to come to it. Okay. The one thing about our game, this industry is really resilient. It always finds a way to make money, no matter what, right? So I'm not worried about that. You should not be either. One of your goals for next year, how do I deploy AI in my business? As a colleague, as an ally, not looking at this dark, sinister thing, okay? What else am I seeing? I do think there is, so I will take the AI now and kind of bring it back into a little different context here. I do think that if you're just hold on to that thought for a second. If you're positioning yourself as just an asset manager or money manager, and you're positioning yourself as just, hey, we do what I'll call it kind of old school stuff. I run money, and maybe now I start doing financial plans. You're probably going to be okay for a couple of years. But I'm telling you, this is going to happen. And this is my major prediction here. That if we're just running money and doing basic financial planning, that will get commoditized. There will be options to have artificial intelligence handle those things. There's already money being invested to figure out how to do that. So what I'm really saying is we are not that far away from a situation where a investor or a person or soon-to-be retiree can go put their credit card in, get like a Siri type interface, and it will do the fact finder, right? Ask questions, do follow-up questions, stuff like that, go through a cadence, right? And really, based upon the rules, be able to spit out a financial plan, right? And be able to modify it. Like, that's coming. You may not like to hear that, but it's coming, okay? Now, that to me is the ally, right? So we can use, as advisors, we can use that as a tool. Same thing with asset allocation research. It's a tool, right? But here's the variable. It's about the future advisor's identity. It's not just going to be enough to do financial planning and asset management. It's just not. You're going to have to go into my world and improve the quality of your clients' lives by financial coaching, life coaching, helping them with their college planning. And I don't mean just 529s. Like, there's going to be a deeper depth and breadth of what you need to do to value add, because asset management and financial planning are going to be expectations. They're not differentials. And a lot of advisors right now, oh, let me tell you about our planning process. 5 years from now, nobody's going to care. There's not. What they're going to care about is, okay, you're going to do my plan, you're going to do my allocation. How are you going to help me improve the quality of my life? That's the question. Not the quality of my portfolio, not the quality of my financial plan. How are you, if I hire you as my financial advisor and coach, where there's that word, how are you going to help me improve the quality of my life? To quote the great Wayne Gretzky, that is where our puck is going. So, I want to thank you all for the year. We are not going to have an episode next week because it'll be busy Christmas weekend, but I will be back New Year's weekend. We're going to start our 2024 kickoff cadence at that time. I want to thank you all for giving me the opportunity to serve you this past year. For those who watch me, listen to me, however you do it. And don't forget, this is the time of year where you want to get your game plan locked in for 2024 and beyond. So fabizplan.com, fabizplan.com. There's an opportunity to access our brand new Magellan Vision 10X 2024 Strategic Planning Masterclass led by me. I'll help you build a 10-year, 3-year, 1-year business plan that you can take, quarterly game plans, monthly game plans. You can go take this and actually execute come January. So check that out. Happy holidays. Thank you all. And like I said, I'll be back here the Friday before New Year's because I want to get a jump start on our 2024 conversation. Okay? Thank you. God bless. Have a great day. Thank you for watching or listening to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. Hey, if any of this resonated with you, I invite you to come to MagellanNetwork.net, and we have a powerful group coaching community of like-minded advisors. Come in for a trial. You and I will have a one-on-one conversation. Let's see if I can help elevate your game both personally and professionally.